Welcome back to the channel. Let's spill some tea and sip a little drama. You already know what time it is.
I never abandoned anyone. Our estrangement was mutual, but those posts made any roads towards reconciliation and acknowledging them a dead issue. And I changed my will the next day. I've spent the last 30 plus years building a recognized, respectable name, and ironically, there are still people out there who are trying to smear my name while still carrying it, hoping to use it for their own benefit. I make absolutely no apologies for naming my infant son Brian. I want him and the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy. So I'll be over here, continuing to love and protect my wife and our children as we continue to love our life.
All right now, not Tasha K back in court again. Because baby, at this point, the lawsuits are coming in like subscription payments, monthly and on time. So boom, Brian McKnight has officially filed a defamation lawsuit on April 21, 2026, and he is not playing with anybody this time. And when I say anybody, I mean his ex-wife Julie, his son Brian Jr., Tasha K, Marc Lamont Hill, and even the New York Post. Yeah, he said, all y'all can come see me. Now according to the lawsuit, Brian McKnight is claiming there was a whole public smearing campaign against him after the passing of his son Niko back in 2025. And the main issue? He says people have been painting him out to be this cruel, absentee father who basically wasn't there during his son's cancer battle. But here's where it gets real messy. Because when it comes to Tasha K specifically, the lawsuit is alleging that she helped push false accusations during an interview with his ex-wife. We're talking claims of child abandonment, and even an allegation involving an inappropriate relationship with a minor. Now listen, those are some serious accusations, and Brian McKnight is basically saying not only are they false, but they've done major damage to his reputation, career, and brand. And if you thought he was just venting? No ma'am, this is a 90-page lawsuit, okay? Not 90. He's asking for compensatory and punitive damages, wants all alleged defamatory content removed, and is even pushing for a permanent injunction to stop folks from speaking on him like that moving forward. Now on the flip side, his ex-wife Julie is not backing down at all. She's already come out saying the claims are completely unfounded, and that she stands firmly in her truth and is ready for court. So yeah, this is about to turn into one of those, he said, she said, see you in court, situations. And as for Tasha K? Phew, given her history with defamation cases, people online are already side-eyeing this hard. But I'm gonna let y'all speak on it.
And on another episode of Somebody Needs to Tell Brian McKnight That Hell is Hot, somebody please tell Brian McKnight that hell is hot.
Is the day my brother calls me sobbing with all that he's going through, looking death in the eye, to tell me I'm right about telling him not to call my father. Because I knew what was going to happen. Because I knew where my dad was. I told him, Dad is gone. Dad's gone. All my brother wanted and needed, asked for, was my father to tell him that he loves him. And my brother responds to him, I can't arbitrarily, or my father responds to my brother that I can't arbitrarily say that I love you.
Right.
So for those of you who don't know, that was Brian McKnight Jr., Brian McKnight's oldest son from his first marriage, talking about his younger brother. His younger brother lost his battle to cancer, and they've often talked about how Brian McKnight was not around for the younger brother when he was going through his battle. Instead, Brian McKnight is so invested in his new family who he started with this woman. Okay. Now, mind you, in a recent interview that he did, he decided to tell the world that he was never really in love with his first wife, who's the mother of his two kids, one of who lost their life to cancer. And every chance he gets to get in front of a microphone, he talks negatively about his first marriage and his first two kids because he has absolutely no relationship with them and has decided that he is not going to continue to try to make one because he started an entire new family. But this man got a first-class ticket down there. He gonna be looking right up at us.
Brian McKnight gets exposed for allegedly refusing to tell his son he loved him on his deathbed. So you got Brian McKnight's son, Brian McKnight Jr., saying that when his brother was battling stage 4 colon cancer, he was on his deathbed And his last request was to hear his father tell him he loved him, right? And he said Brian McKnight was basically like, man, I can't just abruptly just be telling you I love you. I know you my son and all, man. I don't know what's up with Brian McKnight, man. The whole situation is crazy. Brian McKnight basically disowned his kids for his stepkids and his new family. They be going back and forth. Brian McKnight be praising his stepkids, saying his stepdaughter is his favorite daughter. He claims his kids is ungrateful. They basically had a strange relationship, right? But for your son to be on his deathbed and all he wanted was his father to say I love you, and you couldn't do it, if this is true, man, I'm sorry. Brian McKnight's a piece of shit. I've been believed he was just how he was moving, right? And then when he spoke on his son passing, he got to talking shit about the mama instead of just about the son.
The consequences of his actions. They came swift, didn't they? He big mad, handing out lawsuits, talking about smear campaigns. I.e. them ticket sales kind of low. He not selling like he was selling. He got some empty pockets over there, huh? How the mighty have fallen. Oh, he not about to win. He not about to win. Sorry, sir. It's a wrap for you. You can sue everybody. You're not going to recoup the reputation that you ruined. Yep. He did a miscalculation. All you had to do is call that young man before he passed away. Even if you couldn't even muster a lie. Yuck.
I am so sick of Brian McKnight. I want him to sit back and reflect on the things that he has done to his family. But instead, he is out here filing lawsuits saying that people are smearing his name. He has filed a new lawsuit claiming that he's the victim of a shockingly dishonest and sensational but false narrative, alleging he abandoned his kids and refused to tell his dying son Niko he loved him. Well, God damn it, Brian, if you didn't do that, what did you do? He says that his ex-wife, one of his sons, some bloggers, and a newspaper rolled out a coordinated assault on his reputation to make money from malicious character assassination. He also claims that Tasha K went online and claimed that he was a cheater who had sex with a minor. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's a lie. Brian McKnight claims that his reputation, career, and his family are being negatively impacted by the alleged lies. And he says the relentless and persistent assault upon his character gave him no choice but to take legal action. So you're seeking damages because your new family is mad that your old family is speaking their truth. See, that's the shit I don't like. I don't like that. Yeah, and this is why I don't like Brian McKnight. He can't stand on what he has done. You did it, and now you don't want to sit in your truth. I hate that.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because you already know we're going to be following this one closely.
Brian McKnight, the Brian McKnight that I grew up off of, listening to his music, his slow jams, that Brian McKnight is the McKnight that we're talking about, whose son recently lost his battle with cancer. And this man hasn't even acknowledged his son publicly. I don't understand. Just because you get remarried and move on with your life, that only means that you moved on with your life. Your children are still your children. They did not ask to be here, but how can you not even be there for your son? And it has been, what, 1, 2, maybe 3 days since he's been gone, and you haven't even been there for your son. Now, I know some of you guys are probably going to say, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, Mr. Cryer. Well, the family has spoken out. He has not even so much as even helped making arrangements to give his son a proper home going.